All right, guys, today in front of me we have Middle West Spirits Straight Wheated Bourbon Whiskey. This is their cask strength offering, come in at 122.2 proof. This one also utilizes that 4-grain mash bill made up of 2-row malted barley, that dark pumpernickel rye, the soft red winter wheat, and then that sweet yellow corn. Let's get a nose. Yeah, this one comes off a lot of baking spices there further into the glass. You get that cinnamon, you get that allspice. Further away from the glass, you start to get some of that, like those traditional bourbon notes, the caramels and vanillas. There's a little bit of brown sugar in there. There's a little bit of a red apple, like a little bit further into the glass with some of those baking spices. Almost like a cinnamon apple kind of twist to it. Really nice nose on this one. Let's get a palate, y'all. Cheers. Now, I've had both versions of these, the standard and then the cask strength. Got to say, the cask strength is definitely the one for me. This one slowly kind of builds up on the palate. Those baking spices that I was getting on the nose, they do really start to kind of expand there across the palate. Like the middle to back of the palate, they really start to pop out on you. There is that proof factor to it too, that 122 proof, which is, that's not a little bit of proof. But those baking spices really make themselves present there on the middle to back of the palate. Front of the palate came off very sweet, brown sugar, kind of candy-like. The caramels and vanillas that you're getting in this one are those standard notes, but there is some depth and there is some layer to this whiskey. Again, those baking spices still kind of just gravitating towards the back of the palate. There's a slight little bit of some pepper, which I'm probably getting from that dark pumpernickel rye that's in here. Nice kind of brown sugar in these sugars to it too. Really nice first sip. Let's get the second one. Yeah, the second sip came off way sweeter. Those baking spices are still there. It doesn't come off as spicy, so that proof may have been a little bit of that factor, that spicy factor on that first sip, but spiciness definitely died down a little bit. Those baking spices still there on the middle to back of the palate, playing along with that little bit of like that peppery finish there, almost like a fruity kind of pepper, like a bird's eye pepper there flowing into the back. What I do like about this, though, is like there's this very, very subtle kind of citrus note that's attached here to the sides of my tongue, and it's more of an orange than it is a lemon. But the citrus note, and then following through into those baking spices there, really kind of are really nice. The brown sugary kind of sweetness there on the front of the palate, very silky, oily, really nice. Let's get the last sip, y'all. Cheers. Again, last sip. Still sticking with that same kind of theme there. Very, very soft, oily, slick across the palate. That brown sugar, caramel, like vanilla's there on the front of the palate. That sweetness, and that kind of follows through into it's a very kind of subtle like fruitiness to this with that spiciness of the baking spices and that pepper. It does remind me of a bird's eye pepper, which are very fruity, and then they're also got that spice factor to it too. 122 proof, I would definitely agree that it definitely drinks its proof, more so on the first sip than the last two. That citrus note there, that orange is something that's like one of those after effects. You don't really get it on the beginning of it, but then after like the flavors kind of die down, you do start to get that orange that kind of lingers there on the sides of the palate. Really nice stuff here, though, from Middle West Spirits. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. I want to give a big shout out to the team over at Middle West Spirits for supplying with these bottles here to review on the channel. Guys, this one definitely leaves you with that oily, silky kind of mouthfeel. A lot of nice kind of sweet flavors there towards the front, towards the back. It does start to give you some of those baking spices, a little bit of some red fruit. There's some orange there on the sides of the palate. I really enjoy the cask strength series so far from Middle West Spirits. This is the second one that I've reviewed. I still have the dark pumpernickel rye to review, and I know I'm going to be a big fan of that one. I feel like I saved the best one for last, but the stuff that Middle West is doing should not and cannot be ignored. They're putting out some quality whiskeys, guys. If you're looking for more reviews like this, hit that subscribe button, bell notification to be alerted of any upcoming reviews or live streams. You also find me on Instagram at Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. Till next time, guys, stay dusty.